right? Never prejudge somebody. If somebody's driving a decent car and got, you know, a nice house, don't think that they don't need this business, because I joined for time. And I want you to imagine, I then met a guy, well, I sort of met him secondhand because Karen, my business partner, met him at a network event, and this is absolutely how it was. The first thing, she was with three other, two other ladies, so there's three of them, right? And he said to them, which one of you is Cinderella? Right, so that's a great start, isn't it? And that's exactly what he said. And then
He's just carrying on that now, haven't he?
he only just got it. Right?
Hang on, my teeth are growing back now.
Then he says, you know, they're chatting away, so what do you do? And he said, I help people save money and make money, which do you prefer? And Karen said, I'd like to do both. He said, right, I haven't got time to talk to you now, I'm just on the way to an airport, because I live in France. Right? So she then tells me that she's met this guy, and he only works 1 week out of every month in the UK and spends the rest of the month in the south of France with his family. If you heard that, would you want to join this business?
Yes.
Absolutely. Because what I want to share with you is put your hand up if you joined, you know, when you went to school, right, and maybe some of you went to further education, did you dream about selling gas and electricity? Mobile phones? No. Home insurance? Boiler cover? You were one of those people? No. So, I don't find any of our products sexy, but I find what this business can do for people the most amazing thing. Would you all agree?
Yeah.
And, you know, so another few stats. Karen and I got to senior group leader in 3 years and 3 months. Right? And we're not the best customer gatherers, and we're not the best recruiters, but I tell you what we had a goal. Because we know exactly why we wanted to do this business. And I wanted more time. I wanted an Austrian ski chalet, I wanted it on south-facing mountain, I wanted to be there the whole of the ski season, and then I was going to be there just for 2 weeks every month, and in the sunny weather I was going to cycle down to Italy, get the wine and cycle back. All my family are going to be able to stay there. It's going to have 2 apartments underneath it so that I can have all my grandkids, which hadn't come by then. I've got 3 now, but I planned for them as well, right? And my whole family. So that who's ever done a Win a Mini, be honest, and you turn up at the house that you're supposed to go to and you've just felt, I can't go in there. Anybody ever felt like that? Is it just me? You know, or I remember sitting in a little old lady's front room. I used to be the managing director of the company. I had 25 employees, 4 million turnover, big building, all of that stuff, travelling globally, and I'm sitting in somebody's front room talking about gas and electricity. And I just thought, what am I doing? I'm building a business to get my Austrian ski chalet, my Austrian ski chalet, my Austrian ski chalet, and that was just constantly in my mind. And what I want to share with everybody is, it's not about me, it's about you. Jimmy and Nikki said, you know, you can never know who you need. Can I tell you, I took Big Al Tom Schreiter to the airport the other day, a few years ago, and I asked him the same question we all ask. So, Tom, tell me the perfect distributor, you know, what are they like? You know, are they a Sam or a Flam or a, you know, and he just said, you just want hungry people. You see, hungry people, you can teach new skills. Skilled people, you just can't teach them to be hungry. What makes you hungry? Your goals. You know, I was chatting to Lucy here, who's got to flying club, qualified for Rome, and got all the fast start bonuses, 3 months in the business, and Josie said, the reason I'm doing this business, I want to get my husband out of the Land Rover. He hates it. He's on shifts. He's 37. It's wearing him out. Doesn't have time to spend with his family. Now that's what we need to find out. That's why Lucy's built the business. Not because she's turned on by electricity or switched on by mobile phones. It's why are you doing the business? It's so important. You know, another little thing to remember is people with a vision, nothing will ever get in your way. People without a vision, everything gets in the way. My granny didn't get connected in the 10 days. Oh, the online training. I've had somebody quit because the online training that they did wasn't registered. And it's like, You know, there's people starving. You know, is that a big deal? But you see, if you haven't got a goal, if you haven't got a reason, it's a big deal. Does that absolutely make sense?
Yeah, it is.
And this business is nothing to do with utilities. Well, it is, but it's a personal development business thinly disguised as a utility company. This guy at the back, Barry of the book, you know, what we need to do is build ourselves up first. We've got to, and you know, it's really funny because we talk about going and getting the skills. I had this argument with Big Al. He said, you know, you've got to get the skills, you've got to get the skills. I said, yeah, but if you haven't got your goals, you won't even go on the training to get the skills. Doesn't that make sense? So this business, in my opinion, is your vehicle to help you get what you want out of life. All right? If you don't know what you want out of life, your business is going nowhere. I'm telling you that now. You can forget it. You're going to fall out of it. That is it. Identify what you want out of life, and this business will just absolutely fly. And it will change. What you want out of life will change. And here's a little exercise I recommend that you do. Richard in the room. I left my glasses somewhere yesterday, so I can't actually see I can't see this, and everywhere's blurred. But it doesn't matter, because I was going to make that an excuse not to do this training, was I? But anyway, I was talking to Richard. He's in the room somewhere, but I can't actually spy him. Where are you? There you are, Richard. There's a pink thing waving at me over there. I came in the room this morning. I'm going to sit next to Heather, and I'm thinking I can't see anybody. So. Richard just reminded me a little exercise that I did with him 4 years ago, or when was it, at Laura Marshall's place. And here's a little exercise that you could all do, and that is, you know this list that you've got to write down of all the people you need to call? Make a list of all your dreams, guys. Make a dream list. List all the things that you want to have in your life. Make a list, like as if, has anybody ever played the lottery? Yeah, you used to play it, didn't you, when it first came out, because you thought you were going to win. Now you know you're not going to win. There's a 14 million to 1 chance of winning the lottery. Do you know that? In fact, I met somebody from Camelot who was the co-op, the guy that went to the co-op to get them to have the Camelot machine. I said, tell me honestly, what's the chance of winning the lottery? He said, Chris, you got more chance of meeting Elvis on the moon. And that is somebody from Camelot. All right? But if you wrote down all the things you want in your life, would you agree you will either get them or you won't get them? Is that a fair statement? So those odds for me are 50-50. Who prefers 50-50 to 14 million to 1? Let's have a show of hands. Yeah? Well, write this stuff down. Because Richard said to me, how many dreams did you write down?
52.
52, and how many have you got when you reviewed that list?
48.
You've achieved 48 out of 52. And he says the thing is, the couple of them that I haven't achieved yet is I want to own Aston Villa. It's a stretch one, isn't it, really? And what was the other one?
There's a couple of ambulance vehicles.
And buy an air ambulance, all right? So, you know, I think he's doing really, really well. So I would really encourage you to write down all the things you want as if you're going to win the lottery. Right, you know, buy your mum and dad a new house, a car. Don't think about whether you can afford it or not. Don't think I'd like to have a helicopter, but my mother will never be able to get up the step, and who's going to look after the kids while I'm flying around. Just say, I want a helicopter. All right, write it down. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to live this. And do you know what? Has anybody ever had a really shitty day? Right, get your dream list out and remind yourself why you're doing it. If you have trouble dreaming, because some of us have, because, you know, if you'd have said to your mum and dad, I want to be an astronaut, what would they say? You know, just excuse me, I was born in 1959, so when I'd have said to my mum and dad, I'd like to be an astronaut, what would they say? No chance, we haven't even been on the moon, right? I've just been listening to Elon Musk's biography and Richard Branson. Elon Musk is going to populate Mars in his lifetime. People have already signed up to the Galactica program of Richard Branson's. One of them is a guy that's a guy called Jordan Adler. He's written another great book called Beach Life, isn't that right, Barry? And he's got a ticket to the moon. But you see, because our parents say you're never going to have this, we have our dreams knocked out of us, and we start believing we can't have them. But I'm telling you here today, you can. With this business, it's all about making people's dreams come true. And one of the reasons I still love what I do is not because of the gas, electricity, whether we're the number big 6 or the number big 5 or any of that stuff. It's because every single day you can help people get a better life. Every single day you're helping people achieve their dreams, big or small. Does that make sense? Yes. So have I emphasised how important it is to get those dreams and goals in place? Because quite simply, in my opinion, that the dream list is the list you make before you do your phone list. Because you just don't get round to doing the phone list if you haven't got your dream list. And I want to back up what these guys say. I know one of the biggest things, you know, we can practice the presentation as much as we like, but what we've got to do is actually speak to people. And I use little techniques because I don't like speaking on the phone. First of all, I never speak on the phone, right? I don't speak on the phone. I actually use headphone things. Because it means I'm not really picking the phone up, because then you can't be frightened of the phone, because I'm not, you know. Then what I do, right, I have affirmations. You know, $5 a day is the SGL way. $5 a day. Yeah, if I want to be SGL, $5 a day. I'm a lean, mean prospecting machine. So I'm a lean, mean telephoning machine. Whatever floats your boat. I'll share something else with you. I sit on a big ball in the office. You know, one of the big exercise balls? And before I make my calls, I bounce up and down on it. I'm joking, right?
I can see that.
I'm like Tigger when I get on the phone. And then just like Jimmy Hickey, I've got all my dreams there. I know why I'm doing the business. Because nobody knows when I pick that phone up that I'm a Starship Commander. Let me tell you, all right? They have no idea who on earth I am, right? So I need as much belief building as every single one of you in the room, probably more, because when you don't know much about this business, I think it hurts even more when you know that you could really help somebody to get a better life and they say, sorry, I haven't got time, or I think it's a scam, or any of that. And here's another little exercise I want you all to do. Look up the big gym scam. Because we talk about what people say about utility warehouse. The Guardian has written an article and the Telegraph. What a scam the gyms are. I'll tell you about this gym here. I used to know the general manager here. Do you know that only 18% of gym members actually turn up at the gym? Yeah. Every January there's an influx of people joining the gym for more than we ask for the money to join our business. Nobody makes them do it, all right? And by February, they don't turn up. But the gym still keeps charging them. They don't go, don't you have your money back after 90 days. They go, no, we'll have that direct debit. There's a family here at this gym. I know this to be true because Fiona used to be a manager. They paid 3 years' worth of gym membership over, and the whole family, you're talking nearly £200 a month, and they've never been. Never been to the gym. And I'm telling you now, the lockers in a gym, there aren't enough lockers for the members if they all turned up. The machines in the gym, I'm not kidding, there are not enough machines or enough weights. Nobody says that's a scam. We've got enough room for everybody to go and train. You've got a great training system. You've got all of the, you've got guys like this, you've got guys like Barry, everything that you can possibly ever have to build your business. And yet, somebody worries about what a newspaper article says, so look that up, the big gym scam, because it is. All right. So anyway, that was it. That's why you should be doing goal setting. And the other confession I've got to make, we're so good at this, you know, Karen and I now, that I have to put my hands up and say, I'm still part-time at this. So anybody thinks they've got to do it full-time, you have not got to do it full-time. And I feel quite guilty, because this is the first training I've done. I've almost had 3 months off. I've been 8 weeks travelling around Europe in my motorhome. My son's come over from Australia. I spent loads of time with him. Oh, by the way, I went to Australia 2 weeks before I went away for 8 weeks, for a week, because I had another brand new grandchild who's been born in Australia. All because I took the decision to start this business part-time, 10 hours a week, go on some training, use these scripts, pick up the phone, set my goals. And I'm no different to anybody else in this room. So there you are, that's me. Thank you.